Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Captain's Commpod. So we are going to continue the series. Today is Winds of Exchange any good at? And today we're going to look at, is it any good at creature destruction? Okay, so caveat that, specifically cards that will destroy an enemy creature or multiple enemy creatures, not cards that will destroy your creatures, and also not cards that deal any amount of damage to creatures. So all of these cards say destroy an enemy creature. So that's what we're looking at. So there are 32 cards in KeyForge Winds of Exchange that destroy an opponent's creature. They have caveats. Sometimes it's opponent's token creatures, sometimes it's non-token creatures, sometimes it's yours and theirs, sometimes they've got to be on a flank or in the middle, etc. But 32 cards that in some way destroy a creature that belongs to your opponent. Okay, so of those 32 cards, 16 of them are new Winds of Exchange cards, brand new to the game. We've never seen them before. So obviously then that means that 16 of those 32 cards are reprinted cards coming back from other sets that we have used and played with before. So as you heard me say before, there are 403 cards in Winds of Exchange. That's the total card pool. So out of that, 32 cards out of that is around about 7.94%. When you get 36 cards out of the 403 and 32 of them are you're likely to get one. Any more than one is probably good. Any less than one is probably a little bit under average, but you should hope to see roughly one probably in each deck. Then we'll go to the breakdown by house. So first of all, the house with the lowest amount of these is House Brobnar. House Brobnar has one card that destroys an enemy creature when you play it or activate it. Okay. The next one is House Sanctum. So House Sanctum has 3 different cards that when you play them or use them destroys an enemy creature in some way. Then we come to a tie. So the next one is actually tied for 4. So there are 4 cards for Star Alliance that cause creature destruction, and as well there are also 4 cards for House Equidon that are enemy creature destruction. So reasonable spread so far. 1 for Brobnar, 3 for Sanctum, 4 for Star Alliance, and 4 for Equidon. Only really the Brobnar one not looking like it's sort of up there with everything else. Above Star Alliance and Equidon is House Mars. So House Mars has 6 different cards that allow you to destroy a creature in some way, shape, or form. And then finally, that's going to bring us on to another tie for first place. And obviously, if it's tied for first place, then we're obviously going to be talking about House Saurian, and we're going to be talking about House Unfathomable as well. So Saurian and Unfathomable are both top of this statistic. They've both got 7 cards which cause creature destruction. So like I say, they're quite evenly spread. The only house really that's a bit low on it is Brobnar, but they like to fight and they're going to use their creature control by fighting, so that's not massively a problem. But yeah, 1 for Brobnar, 3 for Sanctum, 4 for Star Alliance and Equidon, 6 for Mars, and 7 for Saurian and Unfathomable. So we're going to card rarity breakdown now. So of these 32 cards, the least often occurring is special cards. So of these 32 cards, 2 of them are special rares. So bottom of the rarity is special rares in 4th place. Then you next have common cards. So of these 32 cards, 7 of them are common cards. So in 3rd place, common rarity at 7, which is probably a good thing, because again, we want probably each deck to have at least one of these. The next is a little bit of a jump, but not a massive one. It's uncommon, and uncommon has 10 different cards. So the uncommon rarity has 10 different cards which will destroy a creature or more. And then at the top is rares. So there are 13 different rare cards that destroy a creature when you either play them or activate them. So yes, that's it. So we've got 2 specials, 7 commons, 10 uncommons, and 13 rares. What I'm going to do now is just take a look at each of the common cards individually that do this. Okay, so first I'm going to look at House Mars, because that has 1, and it has Kaboom, which is play, put each Mars creature into its owner's archives, and then destroy each creature, gain 3 chains. So that is going to wipe the board of every creature. It's going to put your Mars creatures and your opponent's Mars creatures into their each individual archive, and then it's going to wipe the board of everything else. So pretty decent. There are 2 Equidon ones. Okay, the first of which is Mass Buyout, and that is an action card. It says play, destroy each creature. Each player gains amber equal to half the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way, rounded up. So again, good at what it does, clears the board, doesn't give you any chains. However, you could well put your opponent into check with this one. If they've got 12 creatures and you wipe their board, you're going to give them 6 amber. I mean, if you've got a way to steal it or reduce it in some way, that could be really handy, really useful, and you might be able to bring some of it to your side. Yeah, that's that one. And the other one is Forced Retirement, which says play, destroy a creature. If you do, its controller gains 1 amber. So a lot like the Mass Buyout, but targeted to one rather than everything. Okay, then I will talk about the 2 Saurian ones. So the first one is an action card with an amber pip called Pale into Insignificance, and it says play, destroy each creature with the lowest power. So if power 1 is the lowest power on the board, it's going to wipe everything at power 1. If power 2 is the lowest power out on the board, everything at power 2, etc. So it hits low power creatures. As does the other one. The other one is Crushing Charge, which is an action with no amber, and that one says play, destroy each creature with power 4 or lower. So again, targeting the weaker creatures. It does also gain you a chain. That one will probably keep a lot of the Saurian creatures alive, because a lot of the Saurian creatures are going to be more than power 4, so it's a good wipe for Saurian. Don't know what it's going to do to your other houses, but again, it's decent. Finally, I'll go on to Sanctum, and again, they have 2, and again, they are both actions. So the first one is Grand Melee, which is an action card that doesn't have an amber pip. And that one says play, destroy each creature that does not share at least a house with at least one of its neighbours. So any card that is sandwiched in between 2 different houses is going to get destroyed. That one might be worth knowing that it's there, so you play around it, because if you play cards in pairs, this will never work. And the other one is Retribution, which is an action card with an amber pip, and it says play, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, destroy an enemy creature. So nice little one to just sort of catch you up in the game and get rid of one creature. Okay, so then we'll go on to the breakdown by set. So which set of KeyForge do you think has got the least amount of cards that destroy a creature? Have a guess. So in 6th place, Well, in 6th place, we've got Dark Tidings. Dark Tidings has got 26 cards that will destroy a creature that you don't control. May do it to yours as well, but yeah, Dark Tidings has a total of 26 cards that do this. So which do you think comes next after that? What set do you think is going to be in 5th place? Well, in 5th place is Call of the Archons. So Call of the Archons had 28 different cards that destroyed an enemy creature in some way, shape or form. So better than Dark Tidings, but not by much. So yeah, Call of the Archons in 5th place with 28th. What do you think is going to be in 4th? Have a think about what do you think is going to be in 4th. Well, what is going to be in 4th is Mass Mutations. So that had 29 different cards that destroyed a creature. So yeah, so far we've got in 6th place Dark Tidings 26, in 5th place Call the Archons on 28, and in 4th place Mass Mutation with 29. So again, have a think about what you think comes next. Take a guess, which set, what number. It's Winds of Exchange. So in 3rd place is Winds of Exchange, and yes, as you've obviously heard me say on this, Winds of Exchange has 32 cards that destroy a creature when you either play them, action with them, read with them, or whatever. So yeah, Winds of Exchange at 32. So again, what do you think is going to come next? What do you think is going to be in 2nd place? Obviously got Age of Ascension or Worlds Collide left. Which do you think is going to be? Well, it's Age of Ascension. So Age of Ascension had 33 different cards that would destroy an enemy creature in some way, shape, or form. So that's a decent number, and it's always a surprise to see Age of Ascension be good at something that not necessarily everything else seems to be. So yeah, nice to see Age of Ascension in 2nd place for something, which obviously means then that Worlds Collide is the best at this, and Worlds Collide had 39 different cards which destroyed enemy creatures in some way, shape or form, which is obviously considerably more than every other set, with Dark Tidings having 26, Call of the Archons having 28, Mass Mutation having 29, Winds of Exchange having 32, and Age of Ascension having 33. But Worlds Collide had 7 Bane cards, all of which destroyed a creature. So that's why their number's so high. So what do you think? Is KeyForge Winds of Exchange any good at creature destruction? What do you think we're going to say based on that? Do you think we'll say yes? Do you think we're going to say no? Well, I'm going to say yes. Yes, it is. When it's in 3rd place with the volume of cards that do it, when quite a lot of them are common, only one set had a significant amount of cards more that did that, which was Worlds Collide, and they were all special rares and all only destroyed sort of one creature and all a bit unusual, those 7 Bane cards. Then essentially Winds of Exchange, Age of Ascension and Worlds Collide are pretty much in the best tier of expansions that are good at creature control via destruction, and Mass Mutation, Call the Archons and Dark Tidings are sort of a step down from that. I'd look at it as sort of two leagues: the league of expansions that have got above 30 cards and the league of expansions that have got below 30 cards that do that. So yeah, for me it's a yes. That's what I'm saying. So as ever, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? If you do think I'm wrong, why do you think I'm wrong? What would you have liked to have seen for it to be a yes? Or what do you think you would needed not to have seen for it to be a no? You can get in touch via email, Twitter, all that good stuff. Please feel free to subscribe to either the podcast or YouTube, whichever you're consuming this via. Thank you for staying with me till the end of another episode of Captain's Commpod. I do appreciate it. And as ever, may the forge be with you.